Jeff Howe here once again for Horns247.com here, as always, with my co-host on the Longhorn Blitz podcast, lifetime Longhorn 2002 UT All-American Rod Babers. He gets excited when he gets to throw his horns up, don't you?
All the time, man. Any excuse to throw the horns up. You know?
Nobody's throwing the horns up this weekend because Texas is off. 2-2, 1-0 in the Big 12 at the bye week. What do you take from this Texas team? Because we talked about it on Tuesday, in that Tuesday podcast and on the Tuesday video. I don't take anything from the K-State game other than it's a win that this team needed to have. But you look at what you can get done during the bye week. You get to see what you got with Jay Johnson and Mike Davis. Get to see what you got with David Ash. Do you need to get Tyrone Swoops ready? Greg Robinson gets to finish putting in his defense. So it's not like the Longhorns are just sitting idly by on this idle week. They're getting some work done.
Yeah, they got a lot of questions, period, right? Not
Still.
only health concerns, but also morale of the team. What does that win mean? Also the improvement. I think Greg Robinson, in my opinion, and the training staff will be the busiest in this bye week because Greg Robinson, I think now he'll start tweaking some of that defensive game plan and scheme to cater things to his own philosophy and mentality. I think that's what you'll see here. So we'll see more of his fingerprints on that defense when it faces Iowa State.
It's funny because the Longhorns have the bye week, but then you've got a short week. So at some point, probably right now on Thursday, is probably when you start doing game prep for Iowa State already. So you probably had 2 or 3 good days of practice where you got to get in some of your installs and some other things. But starting this weekend, you're getting ready for Iowa State on Thursday night.
Yeah, no question about it. It's kind of a weird week for the guys that thrown all out of whack with the schedule, but I think it's going to be great, not only for the health of the team. You got those extra days to get Jay Johnson ready to go, to get Mike Davis healthy, hopefully David Ash healthy, everybody cross their fingers. So you got all that time to get those guys healthy. I think those guys will end up playing. Now, whether they play significant amount of time versus Iowa State, they may not need those guys to play significant time versus Iowa State, but the defense, that is going to be the biggest thing that I'm looking for in terms of improvement in this bye week. You need it because you got the Iowa State game, kind of a short, crazy week, and then you got the big one with Oklahoma.
Yeah, and the Longhorns are off this weekend. I know you're talking about a Breaking Bad marathon possibly going on this weekend.
That's true.
I'll be on the road covering recruiting Georgia LSU's this weekend. But the homework for everybody watching this video, watching the podcast, and at Horns247.com should be that Oklahoma-Notre Dame game. And what you're watching for, can Blake Bell, Brennan Clay, Roy Finch, Keith Ford, the talented freshman, that Oklahoma offensive line, can they run the football, establish the run against that Notre Dame defensive line? Because if they can, Rod, it might be a long day in the Cotton Bowl on October 12th.
I'm going to agree with you on that. Yeah. Also, I'll be watching that Oklahoma defense. From what I hear, it's one of the best defenses they've had in the last 4 or 5 years.
It can't be much worse than what they had last year.
That is very true. But that's a defense that also had them contending for the Big 12 title. So this year, we'll see that defense is legit. But I agree with you. If they can run the ball successfully versus that Notre Dame front, that's scary.
It is.
That's scary.
It should be. Folks, it is a bye week, but we'll take care of you with all your Longhorn needs. Stay locked into Horns247.com. Do not miss this edition of the Longhorn Blitz podcast. And as always, tune in to my man Rod Babers, Sports Buffet, Sports Talk AM 1300 The Zone, every weekday, 2 to 7 p.m.